Welcome everyone to this new episode of our iPad Only video show. We are the co-authors of the iPad Only book, Michael Slewinski.
And Augusto Pinot. And today we're going to talk about numbers. One of the most interesting things for the iPad only and for many people is the fact that they believe they cannot go and use Excel. And one of the feedback we have been getting is, well, but I use Excel and I have all these files and I get these reports in Excel. And how can I work with all that? So we decide to get together today and show you a little bit of an example of what you can do while using Excel. I use Excel daily on my iPad, and you do too, Michael. Before we show the video, let's tell a little bit to the people what you do with Excel in your iPad.
Yeah, I still keep my company's numbers in Excel. So even though I get some reports on our company dashboard that we have, I still put copy some of the numbers to the Excel sheet and make graphs from them and everything. And I used to do it on the Mac before I switched to the iPad. And now what I do is I just I just keep updating it in Excel using the application called QuickOffice HD. Or the Office 2 HD, I just update the Excel file, which is sitting in my Dropbox nicely, and I just do the calculations and everything over there. So I still occasionally when I need to, I still do it. The other Excel-like things which I do in numbers because I like numbers more. I kept the Excel sheet for compatibility reasons actually, because I shared also the Excel sheet with my father who runs on a Windows. But most of the things that I don't need compatibility with Windows, I put in numbers, and I store all these numbers files in iCloud. And over there I do graphs and calculations and all these things. So I do it there as well. And then there's the third application, which is kind of Excel or numbers like, which is Solver, which we mentioned already in our book. It is like a calculator, but with possibilities to really put more stuff and do some calculations there. And then it's like a notepad with calculations inside. And I use it for simple things, like if I need to calculate some simple things, simple currency, exchange rates, and all these things, I just do it right there. So these three applications, the real Excel, the numbers, and the solver, cover the whole spectrum of calculation needs for me on the
And
iPad.
it's good to clarify that when you said, that is compatible with Excel, it's not that number is not a compatible.
Yeah.
You can export from numbers directly to Excel. The only advantage that will give you the approach you are taking is that your father can go and open that file without notice. So if you're working in numbers and you have a PC at work that you need to access, that's a good solution. If you don't need to do that, the number is a fantastic solution. The few times I need to send spreadsheets to other people who are in Excel, I just email from numbers and send them in Excel format.
That's why, for example, numbers for me is the main app for that. But as you said, when I need an Excel sheet which we both update, my father and me, and my father is my CFO. So this is why we keep the Excel file in Dropbox so both can access it, and we don't have to export or import or anything like that. We just use the same file.
Right. For me, same thing. I get all the data analysis for the business is there. That gives me the advantage that I can really access it anywhere. It's all in numbers. It is a spreadsheet that has grown pages and numbers over the years. But everything is there, and I get Excel things to see and analyze, and I enjoy Excel. I am working with Excel for many years. And actually, in a way, I like much more numbers now, but because of the iPad. It's good to say that since the time we wrote the book to now, Microsoft has released a version of Excel to the iPad that is part of their Office 365. It costs you I like to say is $100 a year to have access to that, plus the application. But based on what I have seen and experienced, numbers continue winning on that game. So at least that's my opinion. And again, I was a big Excel user and continue knowing a lot of things, but there's something on the simplicity of numbers that continue keeping me here.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's start the video. Well, one of the hardest things to show information is data. So I create a simple thing that I call the binder report. And basically is similar to a sales report for binders for the area west and east. So let me show you how you can create a different page. And you see, I'm trying to create a new page so we can, show you, the binder, a summary. Okay, let's create a summary of it. So let's organize it. Let's put that shit at the beginning. Because even when we have the data, it's nice to have the data at the beginning. And you can see there we have 2011 and 2010. So let's organize it. Let's do sort ascending. And you will notice that our top bar went to the bottom. And actually, we don't want that. We want that to stay on the top. So let's do undo. And now let's go to the little brush, select header rows, 1. That way we'll keep the first row, fixed. Now we can do sort again, sort ascending. And now we have them sort by year. So the next step will be to separate 2010 and 2011 because we're trying to create, those two reports. So as you could see, I copied the whole sheet, then now move it. And the next thing I'm going to do is basically get rid in one of them of the other year. So let's keep on the first one. Okay. And you are going to see that the idea is to keep it clean. So let's first put a title, sales 2010.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what I really like about numbers is that really numbers is a really nicely done, very well designed application. It looks really good. I mean, I think a lot more beautiful than Excel actually, in the form how it does the spreadsheets.
In the way they do many things is much beautiful. I agree with you. It's different and like many things, it takes a little bit to get used to certain things on numbers, but at the end of the day, it's much powerful. So. Mm-hmm. So now let's get rid of that first 2011 part because we don't need it. We want only to have 2010. And on the other side, let's get rid now of the 2010. That way we have both. Okay. As you could see, now we have two tables, one with the total information for 2011. And let's create some totals here. So let's go, for total. And let's keep units as well as totals. So you could see I could go there, click the equal, hit the sum, and it will create it. And the next thing I need to do, I can zoom in, pinch, and then I can select the right amount of columns and get the number that I want. Yeah. I can now copy, paste, and I will get the same thing for the totals. Because I like to see pretty numbers, you can go again to the brush, currency, 2 decimals. Do an accounting style, and you can do separators. I like separators, easy to read the numbers. That's all that it does.
Yes.
So since we did that to 2011, let's do that also to 2010. And I can go copy, paste, and then all that I will need to do is adjust. And in this particular case, I pick a simple formula, okay? I pick a sum. But if you see on the screen, you will see there is a function button. You can really have almost any formula that Excel had in your pocket, in the iPad, and do average, VLOOKUPs, ALOOKUP. I mean, anything that you think could be done is going to be done. So let's create now a table on our summary, because we're trying to figure out how we can do a report with this information we got. And we know we're going to get 2010, 2011, 2012. So let's create a report, the binder sales in units. So let's do units, and now let's do our year 2010, 2011, and 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And now, instead of copy and paste, let's go and create a relationship. See, that's something that people can do in Excel. Many people have done it for years, and it is fantastic. That means you can update the information on the other sheet, and your summary will be updated automatically. And it really helps.
How do
Let's
you do this
make that
relationship?
table
What do you click to
better
get the
looking, a
relationship
little bit
done?
small.
What do you click to get the relationship?
You just need to click equal. You click you click equal, and then you select the right tab in
Okay,
order to get it from the place you need it. The same way you will do it in Excel. You just
exactly.
need to
Right.
select the tab. The only limitation you will have with numbers is that you cannot go to a different spreadsheet doing inside of iOS, or at least if you can, I don't know how to do it. But again, if you keep it on the tabs, you will be able to do it. So now let's get the information. Let's say we get another email with 2012. So let's format now our sales for 2012 and let's see what happened. So the difference with this one over 2010 and 11 is, let's assume we are in 2010 and this report is not closed. So you don't want to put sales on the bottom because then you will need to add more rows or columns in the middle. So let's make it simpler and just put the totals in the top. And as you could see, I was making mistakes because I didn't want it to zoom in. Okay, so I did it. And when you do that, you can even tell them always start and preserve not only the row, but the start point. You could see I could add, I could paste my formulas. And again, let's go to numbers. Okay, and let's make sure that I get the right number. So I can go currency, and now again, accounting style, and with the separator. And now I can see the whole number. Can go back to our summary, same thing, equal, select the tab, select the number total of units, and voila, I have all that information. Now again, I can go format it so it looks pretty. Okay, put the separators, and now it looks much easier to read and to do. So let's do a little graph. You see, as you could see, can select the graph, click there, select my data, okay, and I have now a graph. Let's make it short so you only see these 3 years, okay? And now you can work with this graph in the same way you will work in Excel. You can put the title, you can move the legend up or down or the side or whatever you want, okay? You can even work in the colors if you don't like the colors, okay? As you could see, you could put the series name or remove it. You can put the grid lines, the tick marks. You can put the title or take the title away. Really, you can do as many things as you will have done in Excel, all from your iPad. All that you are seeing in the screen was done on my iPad mini. Uh, so there is really no limit on what you can or cannot do. You see, let's take the title on. Let's remove the legend because in this particular case, I know there are units. I don't want to see units, so let's remove it. And let's add the values. So that way, if you only see the graph, you know how much they are exactly. See, again, all that you can do. So let's assume now we get another email with new data. And we just get data. Somebody sends us an email with more 2012 data. So I can go, copy, go to my sheet of 2012, add a line, say paste. Okay, paste now the values, not the formulas, because we assume we get a new formula. Let's adjust where our total columns end. As you may see, it doesn't contain the new information, but we do that. We now copy, do this paste the formula, so we get the new numbers. And you will see now, when we go back, we need to fix the pretty on the numbers again. So it looks pretty. Again, I like separators. It makes it easy to read the numbers, so I always do it. But if you see now, and we go here to our to our summary, you will see that the numbers were updated automatically, and there was no problem. So let's assume now boss gets to say, hey, can you send me fine with units, but I don't need units. I need dollar amounts because I'm doing another report. So I can just copy that one. Okay. I can now go US dollars. And I'm basically going to check, you know, you can see I'm going to change the label. Okay. All the data is there. All that I need to go is go, select the right place in the screen, and all that information will be updated. I can again zoom in, make it bigger if I needed to. The reality is all this again is happening on the iPad. I don't need the computer. I don't need the mouse. I don't need anything there. And most likely, it's in many cases even faster than what I have done it in the PC because I will get less distracted. I will be more focused on what I'm doing. So as you could see, you can create a new table, and from there you can go now create a new graph or anything that you need, and you will be able to send this information directly from your iPad in a PDF, in an Excel spreadsheet, or in a number. So if you maintain a spreadsheet for whatever reason, you can go update them, fix them in the iPad, and just email it to any other person in whichever format. And as Michael has said on the book, Michael and I have said in the book, there is a change in the email paradigm here because you will not forget to change the attachment. Why? Because you will send the attachment from the application. So this is a little bit about numbers.
Yes, exactly. This is the thing. You will first go to get the spreadsheet that you want. You will export it to the format you need, and then you will send it to someone. So you don't have to forget the attachment. And the best part is then you can keep the file in iCloud, so you can sync with the Mac or with an iPhone or with an iPad, with a different iPad. So for example, if you did the spreadsheet on the iPad, but then you forgot to send it to someone, you can pick up your iPhone when you are on the way, open the numbers application there. You will have the newest spreadsheet there through iCloud, so you can send it from there if you just forgot to send it, with the iPad. So it's amazing. And Augusto, thank you very much for this great demo how you can really use numbers in a powerful way, because people who open numbers can think, it's a very simple application. There's hardly any menus, hardly any buttons there. So the application, I'm sure it doesn't do anything, right? Because there's no, like, if you go open Excel, there's rows of buttons. Here there are hardly any buttons. So you think, no, this application is not powerful enough. But as you can see from Augusto's demo, it is very powerful, and it's very focused, and it's very powerful. That's why we believe you can get more done with this app.
Yes, so this is another video of the iPad Only book. So thank you very much.
Thank you.